There is an indefinable, mysterious power that pervades everything.
That power that can make a way out of no way.
Today, in the world, there's so much suffering because of that one of prayer.
Welcome to the main event.
Welcome everybody to the Prayer Revolution. My name is Doyal and I'm here with my good friend Vira. And we're here hosting your daily prayer podcast. Thank you for joining us, all of our live Zoomers, our Instagram crew, and everyone listening out there in podcast land. We're super glad that you're with us. We do this every morning, 9 a.m. to 9:30 a.m. Eastern time. And we say a prayer, and then we discuss a little bit, bringing the mode of prayer into our daily lives, just reminding ourselves to pause and reconnect. And so glad that you're here. And just a disclaimer, as yesterday and the day before, today's the last day, but we got to wrap it up a little early today because I'm hosting this 3-part series on lessons from Sri Chaitanya's pastimes and stories from his biography. And I'm not giving the class, but somebody else is in India, one of our dear teachers and God brothers, Gauranga Prabhu. So I got to leave a few minutes early to wrap it up. But tomorrow, another day, we changed the Zoom. Welcome. Tomorrow, we've been discussing this for a long time, Vera. We've been discussing for a long time, bringing some guests onto the show. But it's hard to do that because we have Instagram Live and we also have Zoom. But starting tomorrow, all you Instagrammers out there, pay attention. All you Instagrammers out there, pay attention. We are switching from Instagram Live to Facebook Live. Ooh. Same Bhakti Center Facebook page, but Instagram Live to Facebook Live. Zoom will still have Zoom because you know what the special feature is for that? You can broadcast from Zoom to Facebook Live from the same computer. You don't need many of you don't know, but we have 2 devices going on here. We've got our computers, and then behind our computers on a tripod, we have our phones. And then our phones is shooting us. And then we have headphones in because the headphones go into the phones so that we're speaking actually into the phone and Instagram. And then we mute our computer so that there's not a double voice. So Vera and I we're not actually listening to each other on Zoom. We're listening to each other on Instagram Live.
Let's go a little deeper into the technicalities, DG. Let's go a little deeper into it. Let's one layer deeper.
One layer deeper is that we're actually all spirit souls listening through our ears and viewing through our eyes, using the software and the hardware of this material body and mind. And this is all a dream. This is all a dream. We're going to wake up one day and realize this material world was just one bad dream. That's my story. I'm sticking to it. But tomorrow, seriously, literally, we'll put a notice up there tomorrow on Instagram Live so you can catch up. But we're switching to Facebook Live tomorrow. Joseph, you just joined us.
I don't even know what that means, so I'm just going for the ride. Doyle, you're gonna have to give
what that means for you, Vera, is that you literally just only have to tune in on Zoom.
Okay, tomorrow I'm just joining on Zoom. So.
And then on my end, there's a feature with Zoom. There's a feature with Zoom that you just can connect it to Facebook Live, and it automatically broadcasts to your Facebook Live.
Okay, awesome.
Awesome. From your computer. And there's way more. We actually get way more viewerships on Facebook Live.
Sorry.
So if you're tuning in, if you're tuning in Instagram and you want to know what to do, you have to either find our Zoom link and join us on Zoom tomorrow, or just go to the Bhakti Center's Facebook page, and you can tune in live from there. So instead of going to the Bhakti Center's Instagram, go to the Bhakti Center's Facebook. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I'm totally with you. I'm we're just going where the love is, We love you, Instagram. We're totally into you guys, and there's more love on Facebook. So we're ditching you.
Well, it's not that there's more love on Facebook. It's that it allows us to have guests, because we can't have guests if we've got Instagram Live and Zoom at the same time on 2 different devices.
You got it, bro. You got it. You want to increase the connection. You want to increase the opportunity to serve and to connect and to offer an even greater experience. I know that's what's going on behind all this.
Yes. And we have. Do you know who our first guest is going to be?
I have no idea.
I got a couple of guests lined up for next week because of all of the.
Good to know.
Vira is learning about this as we're going right now. The reason why with all in light of all of the in light of everything that's happening in our country right now, some of the messages we've been getting is that, and the message we've been sharing, the message we'll be sharing. Lajashila, yes, you can join in on Zoom. Bryn, go ahead and post the Zoom link, or post where you can find the Zoom link. In light of the messages that we've been sharing, is that we're here to listen, and we're here to invite diversity into the conversations about what's happening with racial injustices in our country, as well as messages we've been hearing to invite diversity in the conversation. My goals for next week is that each day next week, I want to invite a guest onto our show that can help increase our diversity and share the experiences of what's happening, to allow for more Black voices to be heard and to be shared and to be discussed with. So tomorrow we have our good friend Shamuna Jaya coming in, one of our dearest beloved community members, a beautiful Black lady who teaches yoga, has been a community member for a long time. And so I'm inviting her onto the show just to talk with us and to share with us her experience of when she first heard about the murdering of George Floyd, how she's processing the situation today, what it means to her. And then the next day, I've got another guest. I'm going to tell you now, or you want it to be a surprise?
Surprise.
Okay, it's going to be a surprise. So anyway,
sorry guys.
My goal is to have is to really invite some of them are spiritual leaders. I have people in mind that aren't even devotees, but they're good friends and social workers, or people in the field of serving and helping others. And so I'm looking forward to these conversations. I'm really looking forward to these conversations. And it's not meant to let's impart spiritual wisdom. It's really just conversations, just listening, just hearing, and just having dialogue. That's going to start tomorrow.
Great, wonderful service, though. Wonderful idea. You're always so thoughtful, and I'm really looking forward to just listening and being a part of it.
Yeah. Well, shout out to our friend and sister Monique, who wrote us an email encouraging this type of dialogue, and also shout out to our good friend Namras. I'll highlight him the rest of the week. Our good friend Namras was also hosting a podcast recently that inspired a lot of people, and I think was highlighting was highlighting the need to have certain types of dialogues. And so anyways, that's that. And I kind of took up most of our time here already. We haven't even prayed yet. So I'll pipe down. I'll let you, at this point, it's like a closing prayer, but why don't you pray with us, Vira, and hear your soothing voice.
You're hilarious, bro. All right.
Yeah.
All right. I'll close out. I got a 15-minute prayer for you guys coming up. Closing prayer.
Closing prayer. 15 minutes. Go.
Super grateful. Thank you, Doyal. Thank you for always opening up the space. You open up our hearts to so many different moods and feelings, and just trusting that, softening into that. You bring such your natural chemistry. Your natural chemistry helps us to open our hearts and prepares us for prayer, prepares us for deepening. So, thank you. So let's pause whatever we're doing right now and find a comfortable seat. Connect to your breath, taking nice deep inhales and exhales throughout this time, and setting your intention. Every day we set an intention to create clarity. Either we're going with the flow in life, which is beautiful way of surrendering. And there's also creating the flow through consciousness, bringing our consciousness to a point, to qualities, to a higher power that leads to conscious transformation, conscious change in our lives and the lives of the people around us. What's our intention today? What are those qualities? What is that mood, that attitude? What is that outlook that we're going to bring into the next moments, hours, days of our life? What is that for you today? My dear Lord, each of us are scribes. We are the authors of our story of life. And that right now, help us to see wherever we are in the journey of life, wherever we are in this story, help us to be able to see everything that has led us to this moment. Help us to be able to read it as something that's been bringing us closer to you. Help us to be able to see the challenges, the difficulties we may have faced. Help us to see them in a bigger picture, in the context of eternality, the context of the story of our eternal soul reawakening to its pure nature. And that right now, we're able to pause. The pen has come off of the paper, and we're able to consciously decide, what is the script that we're writing for our life going forward? What does this chapter of the journey of our life look like? Knowing, seeing, experiencing all that we have had in our lives, all that we have gone through in our lives that have led us to this moment. What is it that we're consciously choosing to put on the paper going forward? When we look back on our life a week from now, a month from now, a year from now, 10 years, 20 years, when we look back on our life, when we're getting close to the time of transition, of leaving our bodies, when we look back on the journey that we have been through in our life, help us to see it as the most incredible gift. Help us to be able to recognize that. Let us be proud of the lives that we've lived, of the ways that we've served and given ourselves completely. And right now we have that pause. Right now in this moment, it's that prayerful pause. I've written so much already. So many chapters have concluded. So many experiences have come and gone. Now, what is it that I'm seeking? What is it that I'm looking to create going forward in my life? So that I can either continue to be grateful for every moment, or that I can live my life in such a way that I can truly be proud. I know that I've given everything I possibly could to you. I've given everything I possibly could to serving others, to making a difference in the world. And so that when that time of death comes, that I'm smiling. I'm smiling, knowing that I lived this life fully. I lived this life with true meaning and purpose. We call out your names every single day to empower us with vision, the vision to be able to see you and recognize you in past, present, and future. To know that our soul is within our heart, just there waiting to wake up. And when we call your names, you wake us up. You give us that clarity. You give us that connection. We call out your name sincerely. You help us to see what's possible. Help us to see what's possible in our life going forward today. As we call out your names with sincerity, each of us, let's call out from the core of our hearts. Like a child calling for their mother or their father, that sincerity, wanting that connection, looking for that love, looking for that transformation. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Thank you, Vira.
Yeah, thank you, DG. Thank you, guys.
I always want to know more. What inspired your prayer? Something that happened, a thought that came up, a feeling that moved you, that directed what you shared.
I had a feeling you were going to ask that. was, you want to know what inspired that prayer?
I do.
You want to know what inspired that prayer? Was, well, yeah, I mean, the Genesis, it keeps going back further and further and further. I was having a coaching call with somebody who's mentoring me in coaching and that I'm learning from right now. And I was talking about my life, and I'm going through some transitions in my life. Some of you guys may be aware of, some of you may not, but going through some different positive transitions in my life, changes in my life. And when I was reflecting on my life, I've had a lot of people say, "Oh, well, what are you doing? What are you going to do? What are you going to do? What are you going to do?" Like there's like this pressure of like, what's the next big thing, Vira? What's the next big thing? And I'm like, well, yeah, I'm really not. I'm really not thinking about the next big thing. I'm just, I've been kind of, from a kid, I've been kind of have, this pushing energy, this hustling energy, this like, yeah, dude, push, go, I'm like, I'm pausing. And what the analogy that came was like the completion, like, I'm completing a chapter, like this rich, like unbelievably transformative chapter of my life that's been coming to a close for some time. And now I'm like recognizing, like, oh my God, like this chapter, this phase of my life is coming to a close. And like in many books, there's a blank page between the next chapter, and that it's like, that's where I'm at, like I don't have to, it's like I'm relishing my life. I'm digesting it. I'm processing it. I'm going back in those memories. I'm pausing, and then I'm, and I know that when I put the pen back on the paper, it's just going to continue to be the most incredible journey ever. Just knowing that God is with me, and knowing that you guys are with me, and that transformative experience happens, when I'm in God consciousness. That just riding on a subway in New York City becomes like the greatest trippy adventure of my life, and just going for a walk, and the town of Alachua, going for a 10-minute walk over to my office. It's like the most mind-blowing, rapture can happen right there. And then, so that was a little bit deeper what inspired it. And then what inspired it in the moment, because I've been coming in each day. I'm not preparing, I'm not writing prayers like I was doing before. And I may, go back to that, but because I love both. I love the meditation and the composition and being in that space, but I also just love trusting. And so much of what we're doing and what we're encouraging, we're encouraging each other in our time together each morning, is that the perfect prayer is available to us in the present moment. The perfect prayer is available to us in the moment. And when we're in our minds and we're stressed and we're scattered and we're stuck in the past, and we're stuck in the future, and we don't access that, the rapture of God's presence in our life in each and every moment. And that to be able to pause, to be able to breathe, to be able to trust that going there, which can be uncomfortable and challenging for different reasons, but going into that present moment, that connection with our higher power is available to us. And not just like words coming out of our mouth, but actually experiencing the presence of God that's available to us. And it takes us being present. It takes us going there. And so what inspired it in the moment, because I didn't think about it beforehand, was I just looked down at my computer and it says Mac book. I was like, book. I was like, oh yeah, story. And then, boom. And so that is how God works through the MacBooks. One way of the unlimited ways that he works through these personal computers. So.
Book, Mac. Write that story.
Yeah.
I love some. Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, no. You got 1 minute, DJ, and you got to get out of here.
I got 1 minute. I got to get out of here. But I just I also a meditation that I sometimes try to think of that I heard once is that, you know, we all know that we're writing the story of our life, right, at every day. And so a great question to sometimes ask is, what story do I want to tell? You know? And so when I'm making a decision, should I do this or not, whether it's a moment, like little tiny thing, or a big decision, it's like, how will I tell this story down the line? Do I want to look back and tell this story of, yeah, and then I made this decision, and then I did that, you know? And so it's kind of like, you know, they imagine you telling, you know, your story. And so sometimes letting that guide us, and what's in the past already, it's like our stories are story, and what's already happened, it's like, okay, that happened, and now my prayer is, my dear Lord, please use all of that for good. Please use all of that for growth, all of that for strength. And moving forward, now I can make conscious decisions of how I want to continue writing that story, what I do with what's already done. So anyways, I love you, Vira. You're beautiful. Thank you for writing beautiful pages in all of our stories, in all of our books. We appreciate you so much. I have to run, as you all know. It's my last day of tuning out early. But I love you guys. Tomorrow, remember, Facebook Live, Instagram Live. This is it. This is the series finale of Instagram Live. We're going Facebook Live starting tomorrow. You can go to the Bhakti Center's Facebook page. We have a beautiful special guest. Our good friend Jamuna Jai is going to be joining us. And we'll still be on Zoom, so you can join us on Zoom or Facebook Live. We love you guys, and we will see you tomorrow.
You'll post it on Instagram also for people who
post on Instagram for people to see. Yes.
Awesome.
All right.
Okay.
Love you guys.
Have a beautiful day, guys.
Bye. Hari.